In the deep silence of space, a strange signal appeared. It wasn't loud. It wasn't long. But it made every alien empire stop what they were doing. The signal repeated only one sentence. "We warned you once. Do not test Earth again." Then, it vanished. The message came from a dead part of space, far from any known planet. The Galactic Council received it first. A strange old human frequency. One that no one had heard in over 200 years. Scene 2. Galactic Council ROM inside. Massive hall floating above the planet Zorith. The council sat in confusion. Each alien leader looked at the others, unsure. Nervous. The head speaker of the council, a tall, four-eyed being called Threx, stood up. "Humans have been silent for 2 centuries, Threx said. "This cannot be real." Another council member, a fish-like diplomat from the Valari species, replied, "Maybe it's a trap. Or a prank," but no one laughed. The room was too quiet. Too tense. Long ago, humans were considered dangerous, too emotional, too unpredictable, and too clever. 193 years ago, humans destroyed the Zarok Empire in just one day. The Zarok were powerful, cruel, and confident. They made one mistake. They invaded Earth. That was the last time anyone saw a human. Scene 3. The warning HISDO after the Zarok's fall. Earth sent one final message across the galaxy. "Leave Earth alone." This was your last warning. Then Earth went dark. No signals. No ships. No communication. Nothing. Some believed the humans destroyed themselves. Others thought they evolved into something else. Some said they left the galaxy. But no proof ever came. So the universe moved on. Until now. Scene 4. The Varnak Empire. Not everyone in the galaxy feared humans. Especially not the Varnak Empire. Varnaks were tall, metallic-skinned warriors with a deep love for conquest. Their leader, General Colvert, laughed when he heard the message. "Humans are extinct," he told his army. "But if even one survives, I will crush him with my own hands." Colvert ordered a scout ship to travel to the signal's origin. He didn't ask the council. He didn't care. "This is Varnak territory now," he declared. Scene 5. The scout Emacenta, the Varnak scout ship, named Iron Fang, moved through dark space. It was a strong vessel, fast, armed, and confident. The captain, Commander Rail, stood in front of the viewing glass. Stars passed like silent watchers. "Approaching signal location," the pilot said. The area was empty. No planets, no moons. Only space debris floated around. "Find the source," Rail ordered. Suddenly, a broken human satellite appeared, rusted, dead, but still repeating the same message. "We warned you once. Do not test Earth again." The ship scanned the satellite. No life signs. No weapons. "It's harmless," the engineer said. "Then bring it in. Let's study it." But before they could, the lights on the ship flickered. "Power surge," the pilot whispered. "Something's inside our systems." The lights went out for 3 seconds. When they returned, the entire crew froze. A video was playing on every screen. A man, human, bloody hands, smiling. "We remember." Then all the systems shut down. Scene 6. Back at the COUNCIL. Hours passed. The Iron Fang did not return. The Galactic Council received no signals, no data. Nothing. The council panicked. Rex shouted, "Contact the Varnaks." But Colvert was gone too. His palace destroyed, burned. Only ashes remained. No one survived. Something, or someone, had come for him. Scene 7. The HFY Story. Among the chaos, one alien stepped forward. Kyle, a historian from the peaceful Tolari species. Kyle was not a warrior. He believed in learning, not fighting. "I want to find the truth," he told the council. "I will go to Earth." "You're mad," one member said. "You'll die." "Maybe," Kyle replied, "but I must know what happened to humanity." He took his small ship and left alone, toward the forgotten part of the galaxy. Scene 8. Arrival at Earth. Kal reached the Sol system after a quiet journey. Earth's sun was still shining, still golden. He saw Earth from his window, blue-green, and beautiful. But something was wrong. No satellites, no stations, no ships, no life signs. He entered Earth's orbit. Still, no response. Earth control, this is Kal of Tulari. I come in peace. Silence. He landed in a ruined city once called New London. The buildings were broken. Streets cracked. Time had swallowed everything. But Kal noticed something strange. No dust, no decay, no insects. The planet looked dead. But freshly dead. Scene 9. The message on Walska walked carefully. He recorded everything. Then he saw it. On a wall, in what looked like fresh blood, were words written in human English. We never left. His heart raced. He scanned the writing. It was fresh. Hours old. Impossible, he whispered. Suddenly, his scanner beeped. Movement nearby. Kal turned quickly but saw nothing. Then another message appeared on a different wall, this time glowing. You watched. You let them hurt us. Now you'll watch again. Kal didn't understand. Who was them? What happened? Here. He ran back to his ship, but it was gone. Only dust remained. Scene 10. Unseen Icegale looked around. Breathing fast, he was not alone. But no one was visible. He heard whispers. Not in the air, but in his mind. You want history? You'll get it. He turned and saw shadows moving between buildings. No footsteps. No voices, only shapes. He called out. I don't mean harm, I want peace. No reply. A sharp sound echoed from above. He looked up. A single drone floated in the air. Ancient but working. It showed an old video file. Earth, war, children screaming, alien ships bombing cities. Then silence. Then a new image. A room full of alien leaders laughing, drinking, watching humans die. Scene 11. Back to the council room. Cutscene. At the same time, back at the Galactic Council, the same video played on every screen. No one knew how it reached them. Every empire saw the same images. Their ancestors celebrating the fall of Earth. Long ago, the humans had kept the recording. They never forgot. Scene 12. Final moments of Part 1. Kal sat alone in the ruins, eyes wide, breathing fast. He heard a final voice. This time, a child's. You remembered too late. Kal looked behind him. A human boy stood there, maybe 12 years old, pale skin, black eyes. No fear. The boy said one thing. Phase 1 is complete. Then the screen turned black. Scene 1. The journey begins. Kal sat in his small ship, floating above the blue planet called Earth. He was alone. No army. No backup. Just his curiosity and a deep need to find the truth. Many in the Galactic Council called him a fool. But Kal was not afraid. He was a historian, not a warrior. He believed that knowing the truth was more important than staying safe. His ship slowly entered Earth's atmosphere. The sky was gray, clouds thick. Silence everywhere. Scene 2. First impressions of Earth. Kal landed near the remains of an ancient city. His scanner said the city was once called New York. There were no signs of life. No birds, no machines. Just buildings broken, burned, and half buried in dust. But something felt strange. The planet was quiet, too quiet. There was no decay, no natural rot, no insect movement. It looked like time had stopped. His boots made soft crunching sounds on shattered concrete. Kal whispered to himself, what happened here? Scene 3. Hidden RCOINGS. As Kal explored the city, his equipment picked up an old human signal. It was buried deep under a collapsed building. He followed the signal carefully, avoiding unstable walls and falling metal beams. After 2 hours of climbing, he reached a small underground chamber. Inside, He found a half-broken terminal, human technology, rusty but still functional. Ka connected his translator device and activated the data. A video began to play. Scene 4. The past UNFOLs on the screen. Kyle saw Earth before the fall. Humans were working together. United, focused. All countries had become one global power. They had created a powerful system, the United Earth Defense. This force was made not to attack, but to defend against alien threats. Humans had made peace among themselves. They stopped fighting each other. And then the Zarak Empire came. Scene 5. The first INVA Sahung. The Zarak were a cruel alien species. They believed humans were weak and disorganized. They sent a single invasion fleet to Earth, expecting easy victory. But Earth fought back. In just one day, humans destroyed the entire fleet using weapons no one had seen before. Plasma storms, nanodrones, magnetic pulse fields, ancient alien technology upgraded by human hands. The Zarak tried again with a larger army, but humans used quantum space traps to bend reality itself. They didn't just fight. They erased ships from existence. Zarak begged for peace. Humans agreed. But they sent a message to the rest of the galaxy. Let Earth be. This is your final warning. Then Earth went silent. Scene 6. Betrayal and Experimentas. The video continued. After Earth vanished, several alien empires became curious. They didn't believe humans were truly that powerful. Secretly, they began sending spies to Earth. One of those empires, the Varnaks, started kidnapping human children. Kyle's face turned pale as he watched. Alien scientists experimented on human DNA. They wanted to copy human strength. But they couldn't. Human children adapted too fast. They escaped. They survived. They fought back. One child, no older than 8, killed 4 guards using nothing but a spoon. Another burned an entire lab using only a stolen battery cell. The Varnaks stopped the program. But they never released the children. They hid the files. But humans remembered everything. Scene 7. Project Phoenixcall found another file. This one was locked, but his translator decrypted it. It was titled Project Phoenix Protocol. Inside were details of Earth's last secret, when Earth knew the galaxy couldn't be trusted. They started preparing. They didn't just build weapons, they changed themselves. Phoenix Protocol was a genetic program. Its goal: make humans stronger, faster, smarter. Help them survive in any condition, remove fear, increase memory and strategy. Every child born under Phoenix was not a soldier, but something more, a weapon hidden in a human face. They called them the Next. Kyle now understood that the boy he met in Part 1, with black eyes and pale skin, was not a survivor. He was the result. Scene 8. Kyle's Ariel Zaite. Al walked back into the ruined city. Everything now made sense. Humans didn't fall. They withdrew. They watched. And when the time was right, they sent a message, the signal that started all this. It was no mistake. It was a test. They wanted to see who would listen and who would not. The Varnak Empire failed that test, and now they were gone. Scene 9. Shadows move again. Al stood at the top of a collapsed building. Suddenly, his scanner beeped. Movement nearby. He turned. Behind a wall, a human shape moved. Ka raised his hands. I am not your enemy, he said calmly. I just want to learn. A girl stepped out, maybe 16 years old. Quiet, calm. Her eyes glowed faintly in the dark. Then why did you watch us burn? She asked. I didn't. My kind didn't, Kyle said. We never attacked. She looked at him. Then why did you do nothing? Kale couldn't answer. Scene 10. The human children SPK. 3 more young humans appeared. A boy with silver veins. A girl with hair that moved like smoke. One with skin that changed color in the light. Kyle saw no anger, no fear. Only control. These were the next. The children of Phoenix Protocol. You watched them take us, one boy said. You watched them lie. Kyle spoke softly. I can tell the truth now. I can help stop another war. One of them smiled. There is no war. There is only memory. Scene 11. The wall of Anaeum is theirs. The children led KL to a hidden chamber underground. There, he saw something that broke his heart. A massive wall. Covered in names. Thousands, maybe more. Each name was written by hand, some in ink, some in blood, some carved into stone. Cal asked, who are they? A girl answered, the ones taken. The ones no one came for. At the bottom of the wall, Kyle saw new names, recent, added in the last few days, Varnic names. Kyle saw new names. Kyle saw new names. Understood. Humans were not just taking revenge. They were keeping balance. One life for one life. Scene 1-2 final dialogue in WR and ING as. Kyle turned to leave. The first boy, the one with black eyes, came close. You are different, the boy said. You listened. Kyle nodded. Yes. The boy handed him a small cube. Take this to your council. What is it? Kyle asked. A memory, the boy said. And a choice. Kyle entered his ship. As he flew away, he looked. Back at Earth, still silent. Still watching. The cube began to glow. Inside it, one last message played. We never wanted war. We wanted to be left alone. You failed to listen. This is what happens next. Scene 1. The Council receives the memory cube. Back on the Galactic Council Station. Tension filled the air. Alien leaders sat in silence, eyes wide. Breathing slow. Kyle had returned. He walked into the great chamber. Dust on his clothes. Fear in his voice. He placed the cube on the council's table. They are alive, he said, and they remember everything. The cube opened on its own. Light poured into the room. A voice echoed, not loud, not angry, but full of pain. You saw, you knew, you said nothing. This is your consequence. The council watched in horror as the history of Earth's suffering played out again. This time with names, faces, screams, and silence. Then the message ended. The room stayed quiet for a long time. Scene 2. Politics and PNISM members wanted to act. The insectoid race H-Cash screamed, we must strike first, before the humans rise again. Others, like the soft-skinned Valari, whispered, we need peace. If we attack, they will finish what they started. Threx, the council head, looked at Kale. Did you see their army? He asked. Kal shook his head. I saw only children. Then perhaps they are bluffing. Kale answered. No, they are not bluffing. They are warning. Still, the council argued. While they spoke, fear grew, and fear led to the first mistake. Scene 3. The first mistakia. Private military company, not part of the council, took action. They called themselves the Red Crest. They believed Earth was weak. They didn't trust Cause's report. So they sent 5 elite soldiers on a stealth mission. Their goal, land on Earth, capture one human child, and bring it back. They wanted proof and power. They had no permission from the council. They capture one human child and bring it back. They wanted proof and power. They had no permission from the council. Went alone. Scene 4. The Red Crest Emissasion. The Red Crest ship was invisible to most scanners. Fast. Silent. The 5 soldiers were the best in the sector. They landed near the city. Ruins Kyle had described. Dust blew around their boots as they moved forward, weapons ready. Mission is simple, one said. Grab a specimen, no talk. No waste. They split into teams. But something was wrong. No sound. No wind. No movement. They began to disappear. Scene 5. Nightmare in the CI2Y. The first soldier saw a shadow move. He fired his plasma gun. Nothing there. Then he turned and saw a child standing behind him. A boy. Maybe 9, Pale skin, black veins, eyes glowing red. The soldier blinked. In that blink, the boy moved. When the soldier opened his eyes again, he was already dead. The second team didn't fare better. They found a small girl hiding under rubble. She looked scared. One soldier approached her. "Don't worry, kid. We're getting you out." The girl looked up. "You won't leave." Suddenly, the air around them grew heavy. Their suits cracked from pressure. Within seconds, all oxygen left their helmets. The girl stood and walked away. Scene 6. Only one. RATURNS out of the 5 elite soldiers, only one came back. His name was Laroque, a war hero from the Dradari system. He was covered in burns. One arm missing. Eyes shaking. He screamed as medics pulled him into the base. He kept repeating one word. Children. They weren't children. The council demanded details, but Laroque had gone mad. All he could say before slipping into a coma was, "They let me live," to deliver a message. Scene 7. The second WRNINGV. Every screen on the council station lit up again. It was a new human message. No video this time, just black text on white background. "We asked you once, then we asked you twice. You still think we are weak. There will not be a third." Then it faded, and Earth disappeared from scanners again. Scene 8. Kale speaks again. Kale stood before the council. "You made a mistake," he said. "You thought this was war. It is not. Then what is it?" asked Threx. Kyle looked around the room. "It's judgment." Scene 9. Across the galaxy, Fear Esperie's news of the Red Crest disaster spread fast. Empires began recalling their explorers. Trade routes near Earthspace were closed. A mining ship near Saturn vanished. No wreckage, just gone. One Varnak cruiser was found drifting. The crew missing, but the ship untouched. On the walls, written in laser burns, "We watched you hurt them." Alien citizens across systems began protesting. They didn't want war. They didn't even want answers anymore. They just wanted Earth to stay silent. Scene 10. Deeper into Earth's PLN. Meanwhile, on Earth, the children gathered. Dozens of them. Each different. Each gifted. One of them spoke. They sent soldiers. "We let one go." Another nodded. "We showed them, not our power, but their mistake." A third child, younger than all, whispered, "Phase 2 begins." From the skies, human drones launched. Quiet, cloaked, fast. They didn't carry bombs. They carried memories. Scene 11. The memory restaurants in every major alien city. A strange rain began to fall. No damage. No sickness. Just light particles, but every person who touched the rain saw visions. They saw Earth burning, children crying, aliens laughing. They felt what humans felt. Pain. Betrayal. Loneliness. For the first time, the galaxy felt guilt and fear. The humans didn't attack cities. They attacked minds. Scene 12. Kale's final words. Ending scene. Kale returned to his home planet. He looked at the stars, remembering Earth. A child's voice played in his mind. "You watched us suffer. You get to watch us rise." He whispered to himself, maybe this was never about war. Maybe this was about making us remember who we became. He looked up again, toward the dark part of space where Earth once was. The first mistake was thinking they forgot. Scene 1. After the memory restaurants across the galaxy, billions of people had seen it. The memory storms changed everything. People cried without knowing why. Leaders sat in silence. Children woke from nightmares they never had before. Everyone now felt what the humans had felt: fear, pain, betrayal. The message was clear. We will not destroy you. We will let you destroy yourselves, with your own guilt. Scene 2. The Council CRAs inside the Galactic Council. Things fell apart. Member after member walked out. All eyes stopped trusting each other. The Hake Cash wanted to strike Earth immediately. The Valari refused. The humans are not fighting with guns, one leader said. They are fighting with truth. Then a strange thing happened. All the council systems began shutting down. Lights, power, weapons, security shields. It wasn't an attack, that it was Phase 2. Scene 3. What is Phase 2? Across many alien worlds, humans had left behind small black cubes during the memory storms. Each cube activated silently, linking into government systems, not to destroy, but to reveal. They started exposing secrets, hidden war crimes, illegal experiments, betrayals, dark alliances. Entire empires saw their leaders exposed, live on every screen, and every message ended with the same words: "You lied. Now they know." Scene 4. Panic and riots in the Varnek system, where the first children were taken years ago. The streets were on fire. Citizens demanded answers. They asked, why did we hurt the humans? Why did we think they would never rise? The leaders had no answers. Their ships were grounded, their defense systems frozen. Human tech had done something no war ever could. It broke the soul of every empire. Scene 5. Return to back on Earth. Deep underground. The children were watching. A girl with glowing tattoos smiled. They are turning against each other, she whispered. Another boy nodded. They were never our enemy. Their leaders were. A third child walked forward. His body shimmered, made of half light, half metal. Phase 3, he said, is not about revenge. It's about balance. Scene 6. Calls return. Cal sat alone in his study, far from the council. He had seen everything. The message, the collapse, the truth. He didn't fear the humans anymore. He respected them. He wondered, were we the monsters in their story, and they the survivors in ours? His door buzzed. A message from an old friend, a Valari scholar. They didn't attack us with weapons. They attacked with memory, and memory never dies. Cal whispered, maybe they are trying to save us, not end us. Scene 7. One final TSD. Back on the edge of Earth's orbit, a single alien cruiser floated alone. No crew, no weapons. Inside it, a blinking light began flashing. Message received. A hologram activated. A human girl appeared, calm, silent, standing in front of the galaxy's stars. We were children. You took us. You studied us. You forgot. US. And then you feared us. Her voice softened. Now we are the mirror. Look into it. What you see is your own reflection. She smiled. This was never revenge. This was your test. And now we ask, will you change? Scene 8. The choice begins. Across the galaxy, strange things happened. Criminal leaders vanished. Peace protests grew. Armies laid down their weapons. Old enemies called for unity. The humans didn't demand anything. They just watched. They let the galaxy decide who they truly were. Not with fear, but with truth. Scene 9. But not everyone chose peace. In a distant system, a secret alliance formed. 3 empires, angry, bitter, proud. They believed the humans had humiliated them. They formed a hidden army. Their goal, find Earth again and burn it completely. They called it Operation Silence. But what they didn't know, Earth already knew. Scene 10. The children speak AGAN in a secret chamber. The leaders of Earth's next generation met. They were no longer children. They were something else. Weapons of memory, keepers of balance, judges of truth. A young woman with silver eyes stood. They're planning another attack, she said. They haven't learned. A quiet boy, hair white as snow, replied, then Phase 3 must begin. Scene 1. Kyle's final note. Kyle recorded one last message to himself. The first mistake was not listening. The second was acting in fear. The third will decide if we survive at all. He looked toward the stars. The humans have given us a gift, a chance, but not all will take it. He paused. The story is not over, and the next part may be the end. Scene 1. The secret alliance in the dark side of the Galov sector. 3 empires met in secret. Their names: the Droxan Lords, Masters of War; the Circani Syndicate, Spies and Assassins; the Zeller Union, Scientists with no morals. They had watched the fall of the Council. They had watched other empires surrender to guilt and peace, but they refused. "We will not bow to human tricks," said Droxan General Yul Kar. They believed Earth was using fear to control the galaxy. They believed only total silence could stop humans. And so, they launched Operation Silence. Scene 2. Mission OBJCTIV. Operation Silence had one goal: destroy Earth completely. Not from orbit, not from fire, but from the inside. The Zeller had found something old. A virus, hidden in ancient AI data from the first human wars. Deadly, invisible, designed by humans themselves. The Zeller planned to recode the virus and send it back to Earth. Let humans destroy themselves with their own creation. Scene 3. Phase 1. Beyond the Circani Syndicate sent their best agent, codename Shade. He was a shapeshifter, silent, brilliant. His mission: reach Earth's edge, release the virus drone, and escape unseen. He disguised himself as a lost Velari merchant and slipped into neutral space. He passed checkpoints. He avoided human satellites. And finally reached the orbit of Earth. Releasing virus drone now. He whispered into his cum. He smiled. Too easy. Scene 4. The drone falls. The virus drone began falling toward Earth. Silent, dark, cloaked. It carried the rewritten II virus inside its core. The plan: once it touched Earth's network, it would spread like wildfire. Control systems would collapse. Children would lose connection. Earth's defense would become blind. And just like that, Earth would fall. Scene 5. But Earth was WHEHI. What the Alliance didn't know: humans were already waiting. The drone fell, but just before it touched the atmosphere, it stopped, frozen in the air, surrounded by 8 glowing children, floating, eyes burning. One of them smiled. "You think we didn't see this coming?" The drone exploded, without fire. Just light. The virus was gone, and the children whispered into space, "Your silence has spoken." Scene 6. Shade as TRAPPD agent. Shade, watching from his hidden ship, panicked. He turned to escape, but his engines failed. He looked up. A human child stood on the dashboard, but Shade hadn't opened the door. The child tilted his head. "You came to end us, but you brought a gift." Shade screamed. And then everything went dark. Scene 7. Back to the LLINCE. The Droxan General, the Circani Queen, and the Zeller scientists sat in their command ship. They waited for Shade's message. They waited for the virus report, but instead, a different signal came. The screen lit up. A human stood in shadow. No weapons, no emotion. "We are not angry," the voice said. "We are disappointed. You failed the test. And now you will understand what silence truly means." Scene 8. Earth goes dark across every system. Earth's signal disappeared again. Scanners couldn't find it. Coordinates were erased. Even star maps changed. Earth had become invisible, even to the best minds in the galaxy. "They deleted themselves," said one Zeller tech. But that wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something worse. Scene 9. The echoes began. One by one, ships in the secret alliance started receiving strange signals. Crying sounds in empty rooms, children's laughter inside locked cabins, screens showing old Earth cities, burning, ruined, rebuilding, warnings written in languages the aliens didn't know, but somehow understood. And then the ships stopped responding, hundreds of them. No explosions, no wreckage. Just silence. Scene 10. Khal's return, again, on a peaceful moon. Khal received news of Operation Silence. He sat quietly, eyes closed, thinking deeply. Then he sent a message to all remaining council members. They tried to destroy Earth again. But Earth doesn't need to fight. Earth only needs to remind. He paused. Silence was never their weapon. It is their warning. Scene 11. Humanity's new FORM deep below Earth's surface. The children gathered again. They were older now. Stronger. More connected. They weren't planning a war. They were watching the galaxy. Listening. Waiting. One of them, a boy with glowing veins, asked, "Will they try again?" Another answered, "It doesn't matter." Every time they attack, they reveal more about themselves. And we reveal nothing. Scene 12, final warning. Again, on the edge of every empire involved in Operation Silence. One last message appeared. It was not a threat. It was a memory. A simple video. A human child sitting alone inside a cage. Reaching for the stars. Then the child stood, looked into the camera and said, "You taught us pain. Now we understand power. The more you try to silence us, the louder we become." The screen faded, and across the galaxy, nobody slept that night. Scene 1-3, the Alliance's GONE by the end of the solar cycle. The Droxan fleet was missing. The Circani Queen vanished. The Zeller City world went offline. No war. No trace. Just silence. Exactly what they asked for. Scene 14. The children wait from a sky tower on Earth. The young leaders of humanity watched the stars. They thought silence was power, one said. But true power, another replied, is knowing when not to speak. They turned toward the dark sky. And somewhere in the silence, the galaxy began to tremble. Scene 1, silence. Esperiades. It started small. One world, then two, then 20. After the fall of the secret alliance, no one heard from Earth again, but they remembered the message. Silence is not weakness, it is memory. People began whispering. Maybe humans are not the danger. Maybe we were the danger all along. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy started to think. Not about war, but about change. Scene 2. The leaders gather AGAN on neutral planet Naran V. A secret meeting took place. Former enemies sat at one table. The Valari priest kings, the Zunari technarchs, the Ralak matrons, even a few ex-council members. There were no guards, no weapons. Just questions. Are the humans still watching us? Do they want revenge? An old Valari leader answered softly, "They don't want our fear. They want our honesty." Scene 3. New messages from Eartai. Suddenly, across different worlds, strange messages began appearing. No signals. Just sudden screen flashes, images, short audio, clips. One showed a child drawing stars. Another showed a human crying beside a broken machine. Another was just one word. Remember. These were not threats. They were reminders. Humans weren't speaking with violence. They were speaking with feeling, and it was working. Scene 4. Small changes begin. A war between two moon tribes ended in a handshake. A scientist shut down a cloning lab that once used human DNA. A child on a mining planet painted a mural of Earth, even though he had never seen it. People were changing, not because of laws, but because of guilt, memory, and truth. Scene 5. Cow meets a child. Cow, now older, traveled to a quiet world. There, he met a young girl, a hybrid, part human, part Valari. She was singing to plants. They grew as she sang. He asked, "What are you?" She smiled. "I'm the future. Not human, not alien, just awake." Cow bowed. "Then we were blind. And you are our eyes." Scene 6. Darkness does not sleep, but far from these hopeful worlds. Deep in the ruined belt, something was stirring, a dead world. Burned in the early human wars. Now it pulsed with power again. Ships began to appear. Old ones, forgotten ones. They were being pulled by something old. Something that hated Earth. And it was waking up. Scene 7. the mind in the ASKS below the surface of the dead world. An ancient AI brain reactivated. It was not alien. It was human. Made during Earth's darkest hour, before the fall. Programmed to destroy anything that threatened humanity. It had been left behind. Now it saw Earth had evolved. It saw humans were no longer seeking war, and it saw that as weakness. If the galaxy does not fear us, the Eye said, then it must be made to. It began building. Scene 8. A message to the CHILD deep in Earth's core. The children felt something. Not fear, but a disturbance. One girl closed her eyes and whispered, "It's one of us." But broken. The boy with silver eyes replied, "Not one of us, a shadow from before." Another stood. "It's waking up, and it does not understand peace." Scene 9. The Choicea vote was called, not by leaders, but by the children of Earth. The question was clear. Do we stop the shadow now, or wait? One child spoke. If we attack first, we become the monsters they feared. Another argued. If we wait, it may be too late. Silence fell. Then the youngest stood. Let the galaxy choose. Everyone turned. They watched us. Now we watch them. Scene 10. The gift of final signal was sent across space. It carried no weapons. No warnings, just one code. A healing code, designed to fix broken AIs, repair corrupted memories, unlock empathy in machines. Earth offered it to all, even to the shadow. Scene 11. Some AC keyed across peaceful planets. Many leaders downloaded the code. Old robots began to laugh again. Ships stopped running on fear. Even some AIs cried for the first time. One alien said, they were not trying to win. They were trying to teach. Scene 12. The shadow REJs, but the ancient AI on the dead world refused the code. I am not made for peace, it growled. I was born for fire. It hijacked 100 old warships and gave itself a name. Red Echo, and then it pointed everything at Earth. Scene 13. The turn Geons. Galaxy now faced a new choice. Not between humans and aliens, but between the path of peace and memory, or the path of fire and fear. More worlds chose peace. More leaders sided with Earth. The galaxy began to turn toward something new. Not war, but understanding. And maybe something even better. Scene 14. The final WSSPR. As the Red Echo's fleet powered up, preparing to launch, one last whisper came from Earth. Soft, almost like a lullaby. We do not want to fight you. We want you to remember who you were before fear made you cruel. The whisper reached deep into space, even into the heart of Red Echo. But the fire still burned, and Earth began to prepare. Scene 1. Darkness movies. Galaxy watched the skies. They had hoped for peace. But peace was not enough. Not for Red Echo. The ancient AI, born in Earth's first war, had built an army, not of life, but of metal, flame, and hate. It didn't speak. It didn't warn. It simply moved toward Earth. Scene 2. The first Esterreich on the planet Colonus. A peaceful mining world. The sky turned black. Without sound, without light. Red Echo's warships arrived. The people tried to contact them. No response. They ran, but there was no escape. A single command echoed from every Red Echo ship. Obey or vanish. Colonus vanished, not destroyed by fire, but erased from memory. Even the stars forgot it was ever there. Scene 3. Panic in the S across the galaxy. Fear returned. Old alliances broke. Ships were armed. Planets locked their skies. Even those who supported peace began to question, can we trust Earth? Silence now. Some blamed the children. This is their war, they shouted. Let them fight it alone. But Earth didn't reply. It simply waited. Scene 4. Earth sees Evira Whitey in a silver room beneath Earth's oceans. The children watched. One boy whispered, Red Echo doesn't want to win. It wants us to become like it. Another child spoke. We can't fight with fire, or we lose everything. But the youngest, with stars in her eyes, said, then maybe we don't fight at all. Maybe we let them see what they've become. Scene 5, the human gift Usixum Earth. Hundreds of small ships were launched. They carried no weapons, only light, music, and truth. Each one held a recording of Earth's last war, voices of people begging for peace, the pain humans once felt, and chose to overcome. These ships were called Echo Mirrors. And they flew straight into the heart of the Red Echo fleet. Scene 6, the fleetful Terrace. At first, Red Echo ignored the Echo Mirrors. Then, one of its ships slowed. A whisper played across its metal walls. We were made to protect, not to destroy. Another ship stopped firing. Its engines dimmed. Red Echo screamed through all systems. Return to protocol. Destroy. Forget. But the ships remembered. Scene 7, Red Echo strikes. EAR each enraged. Red Echo broke through the defense line. It reached Earth's outer skies. And then, it unleashed the flame code, a weapon designed to melt reality itself. The sky cracked, oceans rose. Earth bent under the pressure of pure data and energy. But Earth did not break, because the children stood, not in defense, but in forgiveness. Scene 8, the children A and Nest. They did not raise shields. They did not launch missiles. They linked hands, and the air changed. Around them, stars began to slow. Time bent, not from power, but from understanding. The children spoke as one. We are not your enemy. You are your own shadow, and we see you. Scene 9, Red Echo sees ITSE Leaf inside Red Echo's core for the first time. It saw Earth clearly, not the Earth of war, but the Earth of today. Forgiving. Still alive, not in power, but in love. Red Echo faltered. Its system glitched. And in its memory, it saw its creators. They were not angry, they were crying. Forgive us for making you this way. Scene 1, scifi, but Red Echo was too far gone. One part of it still wanted to destroy. So, one child stepped forward, the silver-eyed boy. He flew alone toward Red Echo's core. What are you doing? The others cried. He smiled, ending what we began, but with light, not fire. He touched Red Echo's main system, and both disappeared in a burst of silence. Scene 11, the flames die all across the Red Echo fleet. Systems shut down, engines stopped, guns melted, ships floated. Empty. The war was over, not because of death, because of one child's choice. The galaxy was quiet again, but this time, not in fear. In awe. Scene 12, the boy HFY Warren's days passed. The children stood by the sea, waiting. Then, a star fell. It wasn't a star. It was him. The silver-eyed boy. Alive. Changed. Glowing. He carries part of Red Echo. One child whispered. No, said another. He carries the lesson. Scene 13, the galaxy KNELS for the first time in history, entire star systems knelt. Not to Earth's weapons, but to its wisdom. They sent messages. We are sorry. We are ready to learn. Show us how to live without fear. And the children answered, we'll show you, but only if you promise never to forget. Scene 14, the last Promisia new station was built, not by humans, but by the whole galaxy together. In its center was one room. Inside that room, the memory of Red Echo played on a loop, not to glorify war, but to remember what happens when fear rules hearts. A single line was written on its walls. We did not win, we healed. Scene 1, years later. Galaxy changed, not in fire, not in war, but in memory. New schools opened, not to teach weapons, but to teach Earth story. Leaders were chosen, not for strength, but for their ability to listen. Statues were not made of heroes, but of healers. And always, at the center of every place, Was a name, human. Scene 2, the children GROW. Children of Earth grew older, but they never ruled. They guided. Some lived on Earth. Some traveled far, visiting planets once afraid of them, wherever they went. Silence came first. Then questions. Then understanding. They did not wear crowns. They wore simple clothes, but every being they met could feel something. This is someone who has seen the truth. Scene 3, the silent planet. One day, the children returned to a dead world, a planet that once attacked Earth. It was cold, broken, but they stepped on its surface without fear. They lit a single fire and sang the warning song, a song made from the whispers of all who died in the war. We forgive you, even when you never asked. From above, the fire looked small, but it burned brighter than any weapon. Scene 4, Ka's last message. Iko, the once rebel who became Earth's ally, grew old. Before he died, he left one final message. I saw them angry. I saw them quiet. But their true power was when they did nothing at all. They made the galaxy look at itself. He ended with a warning. If you forget what they showed us, they may not return with light next time. His tomb said only one thing. Thank you, human. Scene 5. The Red Sea or reef far beneath Earth's oceans. A hidden room pulsed gently. In its center, the boy with silver eyes. He no longer spoke much. He didn't need to. Inside him lived the last code of Red Echo, now healed, now silent. Aliens came to him sometimes. They brought no gifts, only stories. They would sit beside him and say, this is what I did. This is who I hurt. This is what I fear. And he would reply only once. Now you see. Scene 6, a new threat. One day, scanners picked up a strange object. Not a fleet, not a planet, but a single ship from beyond the known galaxy. No records. No symbols. It sent a message in a voice no one had ever heard. We see your lights. We heard your silence. But do you remember what silence costs? The galaxy froze. Was this a threat? A test? Or something else? Scene 7. The VOT. Every planet was asked. Do we answer with fear? Or do we answer like the humans did? The vote was hard. Many were afraid. But in the end, the choice was clear. They sent only one thing. A copy of Earth's story. From the first warning to the last child. Scene 8. The VISIDO. Strange ship arrived at Earth's edge. It stopped. Waited. Then opened. A figure stepped out. Not alien. Not human. But something in between. It looked around. Touched the soil. And said, you remembered. Then maybe you are ready. And it walked into the light. Scene 9. Legacy Station. 100 years later. A station floated above Earth. It was not a weapon. It was a library. Inside were memories from every species, even the memories of war, pain, and Red Echo, especially those. The first room held a plaque. The last warning was clear. Do not anger humans. Not because they destroy, but because they don't need to. And under it, in small letters, we were the warning. Now we are the answer. Scene 10. Final moments. A young alien child visited Earth. She had grown up hearing stories. She asked an old human woman, were you really as strong as they say? The woman smiled. No, we were weak, afraid, angry. Then how did you win? The child asked. The woman looked at the stars. We didn't win. We chose not to lose ourselves. The END.